Alright, I'm out running some errands today. Decided to take the bike and get some fresh air, and it is quite cool. But this is the historic town of Sonoa. It was all in that Walking Dead series. I watched the first few seasons, but after that I kind of lost interest. It was fun seeing where they filmed stuff around here, but then it became a pain in the butt because everywhere you wanted to go they had the road closed. So I kind of fell out of favor of it. Well, this is an old town, typical old southern town. But now the movie theater and all that, or not theater, but production companies showed up, so it's kind of gotten overgrown, and I don't know the polite way of saying it. Kind of cityfied, maybe? I don't know. Everybody here is in everybody else's business, and I don't know. It's kind of weird atmosphere compared to where I grew up. Cops are real bad too, so you have to make sure you stop at all the stop signs, watch your speedometer. They're definitely big on tickets over here. Of course, they've been that way since I was a teenager, so nothing's really changed. I think it has gotten worse. But anyway, historic little town, not much to it. But I guess this is going to be the start of my video about Barber Small Bore and the death of it. I really ain't posted much since Barber. Well, actually, I haven't posted anything. After Barber, one, I was tired. But after we got home, when I heard that was the last one, I just kind of, I haven't really felt like doing much. Plus, honestly, I haven't rode much with the inflation and...
Sorry, Pete. I know we're kin, but they got this depression on. How I got to do for me and mine.
All that, I've been working a lot of overtime. Just trying to break even anymore. And so I haven't filmed or had time to actually edit videos. That's the biggest thing. The small bore, it was a crazy event, and I got some videos. I'm gonna post it, some of them in here, some of them later. But on the way over there, my truck blew the damn donut gasket out of the exhaust about halfway there at Birmingham, and I had to smell exhaust fumes and a roaring loud 454 big block the whole way. So that was the start of my journey. But what I want to talk about is they canceled it and everybody's blaming the grass, getting muddy, fied, and you know, really there's water in the concrete. That did happen. So Thursday's a beautiful day. We got there, sunny, nice. Friday was good, but Friday night it rained like a son of a gun. I mean, huge downpour. And most of Saturday it was raining. So I mean, my son, we actually took a guided tour of the museum up there. We've always gone to the museum but never took the actual guided tour, which that was kind of nice actually. He got in a little more detail about how they restore bikes and stuff. And we got to go downstairs in the basement area, which you can't take pictures down there, as I found out. But anyway, long story short, there was a lot of rain. And honestly, everybody keeps talking about the grass. The only grass I really saw get just totally destroyed was back where the hill climb, the little motocross track looking thing is, and the straight rhythm. Now that place, I ain't gonna lie, it got destroyed. But Saturday night, you gotta admit, how many bikes were back there? There's no way for it not to get destroyed. You know, unless he canceled the event. And that place has never been nice anyway, honestly. If you ever been there, that area there has never looked good. It's not like the rest of the place. But the rest of the place, I never saw any grass getting damaged. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. It's just that one little area around those 3 little areas all together. But my thing is, and my son agrees with me, when we got there, it was a different vibe compared to years past. And not from the participants. Participants are pretty much like they always are. But the workers there and the volunteers there had a different attitude. When you talk to them, or, you know, we had the paddock club where we got to eat inside that little building and everything, free food. And a lot of the workers are up there getting food. So I would talk to them, volunteers, and years past they were always laughing and joking. This time they felt more distant. I think they knew this was the last year before the event even started. And I say that because they have never liked small bore there. Maybe when it first came out, but I bought a motorcycle. In fact, it's this one right here, the CB550, from a guy that volunteers at Barber. And I told him, I said, oh yeah, I go to small bore every year. And he flat up told me, this is before he even bought the bike, I was just looking at it, he told me that they did not like small bore. They thought we was a bunch of riffraff and really didn't want anything to do with it. And this was like 2 or 3 years ago when I bought this. So you already know they don't like us, and I believe they wanted to cancel it anyway, and this was a good excuse. Now I know Mr. Barber is very picky about his grass. I have some friends that do the Miata series races, the NA, the early versions with pop-up headlights, the poor man's NA race. And they had a couple guys go off the track into the grass during a race. And that wasn't their fault. Somehow oil got on the track and they spun out and went in the grass. But now they're no longer allowed at the track. So I know he's very picky about his grass. I ain't denying that. But I think there's more to the story than just the to the story than just the grass. I think they wanted to get rid of us beforehand, and this was just a good excuse. But I am going to pop up some videos. This is just an introduction. I'm on the way running errands, but anyway, I'm going to pop up some videos and edit over it. My damn GoPro messed up there, so some of my videos didn't get sound, so you can enjoy me just editing over it, talking. One of the videos was me showing how bad the grass got tore up in those areas, so I'll go ahead and post that up. What the hell's going on here? But yeah, it's a shame because that was like the event me and my son really enjoyed. And we do have tickets to go to Vintage Fest this fall in October. Honestly, I'm not even looking forward to it. It's too damn serious of an event. We went last year for a day and it was cool because a lot of old bikes, and I like old bikes. But it's too serious, and I don't know how much shenanigans I can get into, like riding those back trails with my 100. That's what I like doing, is just goofing off and riding the back trails and such. Oh yeah, and I rode through that little water test pit on my 100. Sound wasn't working on the GoPro, of course, but that was a lot of fun. Got my feet soaking wet. I didn't think it was that deep. But yeah, I'm not even looking forward to Vintage Fest. I don't, and have all that money tied up in it. I probably wouldn't even go, but
since the sound on the GoPro wasn't working at Barber on this day, I'll just narrate over it. But this is the area heading towards the hill climb and the little motocross looking track. You can see it is tore all to pieces. But when you got hundreds and hundreds of motorcycles after a huge downpour, I don't know what you can expect. I mean, there was no way to avoid this unless you canceled all three of those events. Right there is the way down to the hill climb and the race down there, Creek Bottom Challenge. Here's a motocross looking track. You can tell it's just a mess. But once again, how are you going to avoid it with that many bikes? I mean, this whole area was full of bikes during the hill climb and the Creek Bottom Challenge. I mean, you couldn't hardly park there with so many bikes. This year was huge compared to some prior years. I mean, there was a lot of spectators. I mean, you can see how the mud's sticking to my tires. And this was Sunday morning before we headed out. So this was after all the main events from the night previous. I will have to say that straight rhythm, that was pretty impressive Saturday night. There's some people, surprised people didn't get hurt. And that brings me to another thought is, did they cancel it because we were getting a little too wild and they were afraid of lawsuits and people getting hurt? It's because they were doing crazy things like the Barbie Jeep race down the hill, and one guy did get busted up pretty bad, broke a bunch of bones on that one. But you can see overhaul even in this area. It's tore up, but it's not as bad as it could have been considering the number of bikes that were through here. I left a little bit before it was over, and it was just bikes everywhere, just parked all around this area, right up against the track. I mean, I couldn't believe the number of people that come out to watch this. But it is hard to believe this was the last year, you know. This was one fun event. This was the event I enjoyed every year, and it's over. So that's the most of the damage right there. It's really, I didn't see any more. If I tell you what, I'll just let this play. Maybe I can put some music or something to it. After this, I ride back down to the water hole, and you'll see once you leave here, I didn't see any damage anywhere else as far as the grass goes. Just these three little areas up top, and they were tore up pretty good. But as far as the rest of the place goes, I didn't really see anything. I mean, there's going to be a little place here or there where a truck pulls out, hauling a trailer or something. But other than that, I mean, unavoidable stuff. But overall, I believe it was an excuse to stop this event just for the reason of, I think it was getting a little too rowdy, and they were afraid of lawsuits or somebody getting really hurt. I rode down here because I think this is where our camping is at Vintage Fest. It's somewhere down in this area. I just wanted to see where it was and how to get there. Like I said, I'm not even sure if I'm going to go or not. I don't know. I just got a bad taste in my mouth after they canceled Small Bore. It's just, I don't know. Place just don't feel the same. You see all the mud on the road right here. I mean, when you got hundreds and hundreds of bikes leaving that area, I mean, what do you expect? You know, it's gonna happen. You know, I mean, it's sad, but and like I said, unless they cancel those events, and told everybody to go home, there's no way that all that wouldn't have happened up there because you had 3 events Saturday night, all in that area. Actually, I guess it was 4 events because you had the Creek Bottom Challenge, hill climb, the motocross area, and then straight rhythm. And huge participation this year. It seemed like everybody was participating. So here we are heading back. You see, I mean, everything looks normal except for being extremely wet. But yeah, there's a lot of footage here, so it gets kind of boring after this, especially with no sound. I think I ride the bike all the way down to the lower camping, which was new this year. It used to be just day parking for people just showing up in cars and such. As I'm editing this, it still amazes me that this was the last year. And so far, no one has come up with a replacement venue for Small Bore. I was hoping somebody would come up, but really this place was perfect with the hill climb in the back, all the trails, Buc-ee's of course. Can't go wrong there, right? This was the perfect place. And it's still shocking to me that an event this big had to bring in a ton of money. Not just for Barber Motor Speedway, but the museum, of course. Most of us went to the museum. That wasn't cheap. And then Buc-ee's and the surrounding area, you know. But it's still just shocking to me that this was it. And here's that lower camping area, the overflow camping, I guess. as I'm watching this, I'm really grateful for the memories I was able to make here and all the friends I made here. This was one awesome event, and it's really, really sad to see it go. This was one of those events when everybody you met was your friend, and we all got along, and it was just it's almost a magical place. So here we are getting close to that water pit. My son told me not to do this, and like a good dad, I did not listen. He told me it was a lot deeper than it looked, and he was not lying. And this was after the rain too, so it was even deeper than when he told me it was a bad idea. But my bike had mud on it, and I wanted to wash it off, and this seemed like the good thing to do. But right here, it's my little voice inside saying, "This is stupid. Don't do this." But then I'm thinking, this looks like fun. So I ease up closer. I'm thinking to myself, wonder how deep it really is. It can't be that deep. Then I'm looking at him like, yeah, it may be deep. So I'm just sitting here. Back in my mind, I'm like, hurry the hell up. This is taking too long. So I ease forward. And now I'm getting to the point I can't back up. There we go. I'm committed now. My brakes aren't holding. So here I go. And I realize now it is too deep. Oh, yeah. My feet were soaked. Look at this wheelie. That was an awesome wheelie at the end. And right about now, I'm thinking, that was stupid, but God, it was fun, and I wish I'd have done it a whole bunch more. But it was about time to pack up and head back to Georgia. So here I go, heading to the campsite. I'll have to say, this has been one fun ride. The last few years coming here was just amazing. And like I said, I have memories I'll never forget and friendships from around the country now. And I even met a couple blokes from Australia this year. But it was an amazing thing to see the last few years, how this place has grown, and now the death of it. And this is really sad. So here I am heading back to the campsite. Actually, I think I passed it. There's my truck. And I'm thinking right now about my wet feet and how I got a several-hour drive home with soaking wet feet, listening to a truck with a blown-out donut gasket in the exhaust, and smelling exhaust fumes the whole way. But like I said, it was a heck of a ride, and this has been one great event year after year. I will have to say that after reviewing this film in the HD quality on my monitor, the grass in the parking areas, or camping areas I should say, were pretty tore up. And this area here is usually very, very nice. Yeah, so the grass probably had a whole lot to do with not coming back. But once again, when you have that much rain, this many people, this many bikes, I don't know how to avoid it. But, you know, I just wish we could go on with this event. But with that being said, thanks for the memories. Thanks for the fun. And hopefully somebody will pick this event up and we'll all get together again.